All right, hello everyone. We're back to another YouTube video. So first of all, I wanted to say that I put a lot of time into doing this. A few hours. I've been looking at all this, all the DD. I haven't really looked at technicals yet, but we'll find that out. So today I'm going to be reviewing the stock Wish. A lot of people have brought it up to me. Oh, this is a very undervalued play. This. So I don't really. I don't. Obviously, I have 12 subscribers, so I'm going to tell you guys my opinion. And I think I do a lot of stuff in the stock market. So I am going to tell you guys my honest opinion, what I think is to come to this company, what it should be worth. We will go through that in this video. So if you did find any value in this video, I'd really appreciate a comment, like a subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. So let's get started. And watch the end of this video, all of this stuff. If you're an investor, if you want to be invested, I think it'd be very good to know. So I want to start off and say that I am very bullish on this ticker just already off the gate. So what I did is I compiled four companies, and then I kind of compiled this first row is their revenue last year, and this is their market cap. So I was really bullish when I just ran through this. So I'll just ran through a couple things. So Wish e-commerce, Snap, kind of e-commerce, more on the digital side, Amazon and Shopify, obviously e-commerce. So I tried to pick some companies that we could relate this to. So first I wanted to start off with that Wish $3 billion in revenue. I say revenues, but I mean to say sales. So sales for all these companies in this column. So, Wish has $3 billion. Snap has $2 billion, right? So Wish has more revenue, but it is literally 20 times below the market cap. So Wish is at about $10. If it was equal to Snap, we go 20 times 10, $200 stock if they were valued at the same. Let's look down at Shopify. Exactly the same, $186 billion, 30 times. That's Wish at $300. So if we were going to, that is just off their revenue to market cap, and they do pretty much the same. I wouldn't say the same thing. I want to stay away from that because they are totally different companies, but kind of in the same general idea. There's no reason why the same revenue should have a 30 times bigger market cap. Their their revenue to market cap is 2 times, and that is very small. I think average is 6 to 12. Anyways, so that is just looking off of that before diving into any other things made me extremely bullish. So let's move on. This is my Twitter. I just compiled some things that I found very interesting. The first thing that was interesting, and I was going back to I could tell you Wish started and IPO'd at 20, went to 26, now it's down at 9. Or maybe we'll look at the chart. Look. I've noticed a lot of these same stocks have been doing this since IPO. These images are going to be very, very small, but this is Snap. So same thing. Look, it looks like we're dipping almost 50%. Double bottom, bam, back up, curls back up. This is another one. I think this is Shopify. Same exact situation. Don't know what this is. And here we have Wish. So we can see all of these are kind of they're going down off of IPO a lot. They're finding their bottom. Looks like a couple in handle, formation on most of these. And I don't really know what is to say of that. I know that a lot of hedge funds put out low price targets on these type of companies because they want to get in lower. Once they they found the bottom, their price targets magically go higher and higher. Cup and pattern thing, it absolutely explodes. So that was very. I was wondering why Wish was doing that, and looking back at these other graphs, it kind of makes more sense to me now. So that was something to look at. Okay, again here our sales, compared to market cap, we already went over that, which is crazy, and these numbers are a bit different because I know Snap just went up a lot. This is one of the. I was going through some DD, and Gary V was talking about Wish. He thinks it could be the next Amazon. I want you guys just to hear this because Let's go. Let's see.
Wish is probably the closest thing to any kind of conceivable threat to Amazon in the world. Wish is doing $3 to $6 billion in sales. Wish is probably the closest.
Obviously, we all know who Gary V is, right? If you're into stocks. he really doesn't talk out of his ass much, and most of the times what he says is correct. So I don't think anyone's heard this, but if like this got out, I think this would be a pretty big deal for people. So yeah, I don't really need to talk much about that. I found that very interesting though. More bullish. Okay, this is from Reddit I looked at. So there's a lot of big Reddit on here. So we talked about the revenue, cash on balance sheet 2 billion, and they're only 6 billion market cap. See, that's very funny too. They have a lot of market revenue increased 75%, so it should have been up 75% plus last year if we're just thinking of the revenue increase. We'll talk about the most downloaded e-commerce. Here's another good point that I wanted to bring up. In 2015, Amazon had offered 10 billion in cash, but Wish walked away, and now it's worth what, 6 billion? Something crazy to look at. I'll read this for you guys. Wish is one of the largest and fastest growing global e-commerce platforms and should be trading at least 5 to 6 times revenue. So, that's what I did say. So that was interesting, and we're gonna get into some more stuff. We already talked about this. 2x EVGP, very low. This is the most bullish thing I've ever seen, right? So I'm just looking at this, and how is Wish going to have almost the same amount of downloads as Amazon, but be trading so much lower? It does not add up to me, right? 138 million downloads. That is like the third or fourth of the USA. This company should be at least $100 billion. So that was, that downloads is everything. If even Snapchat, that's why Snapchat's worth so much. Downloads are everything on their app. So this is extremely bullish to me. I don't know. Might have another post I want to talk about this. Okay, yes. Peter Thiel made a huge bet. Peter Thiel does not lose, and he put a huge bet on Wish. I mean, he owns he owns a lot of the company. We have Morgan Stanley, Vanguard, all of these these guys, these hedge funds are not stupid, and they have been buying more. So whenever I look at a stock, I also look at the institutional investors. That gives me kind of an idea of that as well. So we have looked at all of this. There's probably a lot of stuff I've missed. I want to look at the technicals, my price targets, stuff like that. But yeah, and then so when I come back to all for full circle, I really try to listen, and I'm like, why is this thing not $100 or more? And I seriously think we look at all these back to these IPOs, they all follow the same pattern. So I think patience here. I think inevitably this is. I mean, it should be a $60 stock if it was fair priced, in my opinion. Like that is what I think about 60. But Shopify, Snap, they're so overpriced. I mean, if this was overpriced like them, it should be $200 to $300 stock. So quite insane. I haven't really looked at the Wish chart, but let's go ahead and zoom in. So we looks like we IPO'd at 20, went to 32, and we can see this. So let's look at this 1-day pattern, and I'm gonna draw kind of to see what we're in right now. So obviously we have a falling wedge right here. And we broke out of this. I'll make this the falling wedge. Kind of a weird falling wedge, but we'll deal with it. Broke out of this falling wedge. Looks like we developed kind of a higher low right here. What I really wanted to see Wish do was base right under 10 for the next leg up, which it is doing. So when if it's a steep downtrend, we want to see this round out. So we kind of want to see rounding right here. Broke this rising wedge, and it's been kind of rounding out right here. If we're looking in the big picture, I think something like this could be, we see a cup and handle. But right now we have a rounding base under 10. Looks like we tried to break this next leg up. It looks like we're going to be good to break this next leg up pretty soon. I'd like to see this base around 10. Technical wise, I'm not going to get out the fib retracement, but we could RSA starting to curl up. We like that. We can bring up MACD here as well. MACD is another indicator I use. Okay, let's get MACD up in here. Apply. Okay, wow. Okay, this is quite interesting. MACD's right about to curl back up, and that's going to put us in bullish territory. So, wow, I didn't notice that. After seeing that, I'm definitely going to be scooping up some shares tomorrow. I don't know why I didn't pay attention to that. So we have MACD crossing over. We have a rounding base under 10. We're going to have our next leg up. So I'm going to delete these indicators right now so I can get more of a full screen. So right now for me, a stop loss. I mean, a stop loss. It's going to be kind of wide, but stop losses should be on 882. If we want to play a more close stop, I think somewhere around 950 was an area that we need to hold for this to be bottoming out, and we can push up. Price target. Price target is hard for this one. We don't have a lot of history to see how price target flows. We have a lot of resistance on 15, and okay, I'm gonna put. So we obviously have a lot of resistance at 15. We can just see that from the chart. If we break 15, we don't have a lot of resistance. We have some resistance up to 20. And then our next resistance, we have no resistance all the way to 32. If we can break 15, I think we had no problem getting up into these 20s back again. If we can break over 20, the sky is the limit. We can see we have if I'm gonna do a count on this whole chart, it's kind of hard. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That reset 1, 2. Actually, I could actually label these out. 1. If we're doing a sequence, 2, 3, 4. 5, and then this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. We're basing on 4, looking for the next wave up possibly. If we're going to do a 5 count on that. So that's the technicals. We put stop losses at 950 if you really want to risk it. At 888 is good. Technicals. Being a smart investor, I'm in at 980, so if it does hit to 15, I'm gonna obviously take out some profits. I think this is it's a long-term company to me, so for me, I'm gonna be leaving most of it. But we have to protect capital at all costs. That's how we become good traders. That's how we manage risk. That is all of my DD. I gave you guys lots of insight into this company, kind of a basic. I gave you good technicals. There's not a lot of people that do this, so if you did like this, I would really appreciate if you guys would subscribe, leave a like, thumbs up. If you guys have any other tickers, I like doing this, so just shoot it in the comments. I would love to do an overview of more. I hope you guys have a good night and good luck.